Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's KingMezzie and my boy Icy Bullet here recording the video for me so we could actually bring you some non-shitty quality stuff. And we're going to do a class setup video right here. It's for MLG variant, we're going to show you all three my anchor sets, which I don't use too much, my Slayer set, and my SMD set. So we're going to get started with it. The first class here is M8 Reflex Stock with FMJ, B23R, Flak, Toughness, Dexterity, and an EMP. And this is really your general anchoring. Nothing special happening to you. Like, yeah, you might be getting EMP'd occasionally, you might be getting stunned, but you don't really need to counter anything. It's really that, okay, they're not doing anything to hurt me class. And then right below that, you have your Flak, Toughness, Tac Mask, and that's obviously if they're running heavy stuns. And if you get stunned as an anchor, you're pretty much fucked. Excuse my French. Yeah, so you're screwed. So you gotta, if they're running, I'd say if you're running more than 2 stuns, you're going to want to pull that class out. And then the class below that's what I call my safe class. It's Flak, Toughness, Hardwired, Tac Mask with M8, FMJ, Reflex Stock, all that crap. And then this is just so you're safe from everything. Like if you got a team that's running a lot of EMPs and a lot of stuns, you don't really. There's still enough stuff you can get hurt by without Flak Jacket. Even if they're not running nades, you don't want to take it off, really. It's this class that, like, nothing is really going to get you killed instantly, but you're not really able to do a whole lot besides shoot somebody with an M8 or a scavenge gun. And then my double trophies class, I use this off the start of games. It's lightweight, toughness, fast hands, dexterity with 2 trophies. You throw the trophies off just to block stuns coming in and blocking your team from running into the first hill. Very useful. You can pull it out mid-game if you wanted to, but it's not super useful mid-game. You can still do everything you normally would do as an anchor with it. I just don't use it much besides off the rip. And then the reason I use FMJ is just for the wall bang. I don't like quick draw as an anchor. I can play around it fine. It doesn't bother me at all. And then my last class is the in case of emergency class. It's MSMC, quick draw, long barrel with Flak, toughness, dexterity, tac mass, Semtex, and a smoke. And this is again for the last hill. If you're getting into that last minute of the game and you just need points, you're not too worried about spawn. You're just trying to flood the hill. This is the class to use because your M8 isn't going to get you any kills in the hill. So, and then we're going to switch over to the Slayer set. Starting at the top here, it's M8 with Reflex, Stock, Quick Draw, a B23R, an EMP, Flak, Toughness, Dexterity. Basically the same as your anchor class, you just have Quick Draw for instead of FMJ. Because you're moving around more, you're not always pre-aiming. It's harder to play around not having Quick Draw as a Slayer. And then here is a double trophies class. No B23R, obviously no EMP. And you pick up 2 trophies. It's a great class, especially for raid if you're going into the hill. If you're getting garage spawns, you're going into the hill. Great for there. It's great for off the start classes, just to be able to throw them out real quick. Save yourself in the hill a little bit because as Slayer, you're in the hill a lot more often. And then next we got my 3 subclasses. They're just designed to counter different stuff. All of them will have MSMC, Quick Draw, Long Barrel with a Semtex and a Stun. And you can swap out the Lethal and Tacticals for Semtex and Smoke or double EMPs, depending on what your team needs you to run. And then the first class is going to be Lightweight, Toughness, Dexterity, Extreme. Sorry about the phone ringing. I thought I put that on mute. And then the second class is Lightweight, Toughness, Dexterity, Tac Mask. Lightweight, Flak Jacket, Toughness, Dexterity is your third class. And I'll tell you, really you only need to pull out the Tac Mask class if somebody's running, again, more than 2 stuns. And that's if they're hitting you consistently with their stuns. If they're running 2 stuns but not hitting anything with them, you might as well take advantage of having extreme conditioning on your classes. And then the Flak Jacket class is for if they get a War Machine, if they're running a lot of nades, if you think you're really good at dodging a Hellstorm, I guess you could try that, but you're probably better off just keeping with something else. But yeah, it's really just to counter the War Machine because otherwise the War Machine will absolutely destroy you in hill, whereas with this, it takes half the clip of the War Machine. Sorry. Now we're going on to the SMD classes, and For me, I always set my my second and fourth class are my lightweight extreme classes, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But the first class is going to be M8, Reflex Stock, FMJ, Flak, Toughness, Dead Silence with 2 EMPs. You can replace that for a stunner and a nade. You could replace that for 2 stuns. I just like having 2 EMPs. It's great to really cover a lot of the areas on the map. You can really tell where the other team's going by hitting 1 EMP. And the range is so big on the map, it's not hard to do. And then you got the lightweight extreme MSMC, quick draw long barrel as usual, lightweight toughness, extreme dead silence with a frag grenade instead of Semtex, and then a stun or a smoke depending on what your team wants you to run. And I think frags are better in search because you actually have the time to cook them, unlike in respawns where if you're running a sub, you're trying to get around the map quickly, and stopping to cook a nade for 5 seconds is not very useful. Ugh. And then right below that, in my third slot, I have... Oh, I don't know what that is, but that's annoying. It's a MSMC, quick draw, long barrel, flak, toughness, dexterity, dead silence, with a nade and a stun. And I'll swap that out, and I'll use double stuns. I'll occasionally use an EMP. It's really what your team wants you to run or what you feel like running for the most part. And then in Custom 4 is another lightweight extreme class. So the perks are all the same from Custom 2. It's just a sniper overkill. So it's MSMC, quick draw, and a DSR with dual band as it is now. But you can also swap out dual band for a ballistic CPU, which I do on occasion, or you can run quick draw long barrel on it and not have any attachments on your sniper. And that's, again, it's your rushing class, it's your challenging middle, and I'll explain why the lightweight extremes are where they are in a second. But then right below that is my flak toughness dead silence with a trophy, and M8 reflex stock FMJ with a B23R. I'll swap out, I'll put double trophies. I change it around a little bit, but that class is always running trophies for me. It's just a matter of if it's a 1 or 2, or if it has a nade. You can really change it to whatever you like. If you don't use secondaries that much, you can get away with it. If you feel like you might need it on certain maps, you're more than welcome to swap out either a nade or another trophy and run a pistol. It's just preference. But back to the lightweight extreme things. It was I stack my lightweight extremes on 2 and 4 for the simple reason of spawning. Now I can, if you're hovering over 2, if you start off with class 2, you start off with lightweight extreme, and you can cover a lot of ground. You switch to your knife, you cover a lot of ground, and now you can switch to classes 1 or 3, which are flak jacket and slower. Obviously, if you see somebody while you're rushing, you got to get the kill. You can't switch to a class, and that's the class you're playing with. Which is why you still have dead silence and everything on it. So it's still a functional class. But if you don't see anybody right away, you switch to a flak jacket class, either the M8 with double EMPs or however you want to set it up personally, or the MSMC with a flak jacket, just to make it a little bit more survivable, because you do have 15 seconds at the start of every round to switch your classes. And the same thing for 4 with a sniper, you can switch to 3 or 5. And that's why I stack them, is because if you try to have one lightweight extreme class on 3, you'd have to go up 2, and then you're just more likely to mess up and screw something up. And there's that small chance that you don't get to the class you wanted to, and now you're in a shitty spot with the wrong class. So that's the end of the class setup video for this. I want to thank you guys for all watching and subscribing. It's really been fun doing this for you guys. I plan on bringing more videos. I should be getting on Xbox here in the next couple weeks or so. I know I've been saying that for a while now, but it's actually looking like it's going to happen in the next week or so. But then I got to give a shout out to my boy Icy Bullet. His Twitter will be in the description. Thanks for recording this. And it's KingMezzie. Titty slap that like button, and I'm out.